Welcome to the Green Purple Luffy deck breakdown, the singular leader of EB02, where we're going to be taking a look at the deck list, explain what each card does, go over starting hands, card options for the deck. We're going to take a look at his matchups, and then some sample curves for you to get a general idea of how to play the deck, and then we're going to cap it up with some gameplay at the end. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Kaizoku.
This video is brought to you by Adakai TCG. Shop the latest in premium holographic textured custom One Piece cards. Designed for collectors, crafted to stand out. Use code Kaizoku for 15% off your next order. This video is sponsored by gumgum.gg. Discover Western OP10 lists and Eastern OP11 lists on gumgum.gg. Updated daily. Be the first to see decks for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1,000 deck lists per set, gumgum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. So the leader, Green Purple Luffy, his leader ability reads activate main once per turn. If you don -2, if you have only Straw Hat Crew type characters out on board, you can set up to 2 of your rested don as active. Then your leader gets plus 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So yeah, it becomes a 6k base leader. You do have to have a lot of don to return, right? 2 don is really steep. That's a whole turn resetting, but you do get 2 don active back. So the goal of the leader ability is to play cards to mitigate that downside while benefiting and reaping the rewards of the upside of being a 6k base leader and having essentially 2 extra don for the turn. But yeah, with this kind of deck, we mostly run Straw Hat Crew type cards, of course, because that's the only way our leader ability works. So let's just jump into the deck list. For EB02 Nami, so it's a new 1-cost searcher in green for the Straw Hat Crew type. You look at the top 5 for a Straw Hat Crew type besides Nami and put it to your hand. Right, this is even better than Law. The 1-cost Law, I can just show you guys too. The guy right here, he can search top 4 for a cost 2 or greater Straw Hat Crew type character or Heart Pirates, but the thing is he's a Heart Pirates type character himself, so he actually is anti-synergy with your leader ability, right? If you have him out, your leader ability doesn't give you that plus 1k power. So we run Nami instead. Good enough, right? It searches 1 deeper and it's same cost, same power. Prettier, I might add, or depends. But yeah, the theme with this deck is we're going to need a lot of searchers because there's a couple key cards that we need to kind of find to even run our deck properly. If we don't play those on curve, it's a lot harder to win games without it. So we'll get to that. Up next is 4 OP07 Tony Chopper, 2 cost 0k power, 1k counter. He has blocker. Then on play, if you have less or equal don than your opponent, you can ramp 1 rested don. So yeah, this helps mitigate the steep price of the -2 from our leader ability. It at least gives you 1 of it back, and it gives you a nice 2-cost blocker to just stop an attack the turn after. Big caveat, this Chopper is actually not a Straw Hat Crew type character because, I don't know if it's spoilers or not, but in this particular scene, in this arc, he was traded over to the Foxy Pirates, so he's an animal / Foxy Pirates type. It's very accurate to the card itself. But yeah, do note that if you have this out, you can't use your leader ability. You can still get the 2 active don, but you cannot get the plus 1k buff to make yourself a 6k base leader. So most of the time early on, you just want to chump block with them on any attack just to save you a counter, right? He's just mainly there to save you a don. But yeah, don't forget, he is not a Straw Hat Crew type character. Up next is EB02 Frankie, 4 of them, 3 cost 4k power, 1k counter on play or when attacking. If your leader has a Straw Hat Crew type and the number of your dons on board is equal to or less than your opponent, you can ramp 1 rested don. So yeah, another way to mitigate the steep price of our leader ability, you can combo this guy with the pudding, Sanji pudding on the turn that you play it. But we'll go over that when we go over the curbs. I'll show you how it synergizes together. But yeah, he's just another way to just keep your don up so you're not like too far behind. And just put 1 don on him and he becomes an attacker too for 5k. So yeah, he's great for that too. And the fact that he ramps on play and then when attacking, right, if he doesn't die on board, you usually get 2 don out of him. So it completely mitigates the cost of your leader ability. 4 starter deck 18 Usohachi, 3 cost 3k power, 2k counter. It's literally the best purple 2k counter because on play, if you have 8 or more don cards on your field, you can rest up to one of your opponent's 5 cost less characters. So yeah, great as defense as a 2k counter and great as offense to like tap a blocker. 4 starter deck 18 Zoro Judo, 4 cost 6k power. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 purple Straw Hat Crew type card and add it to your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So yeah, another searcher but with an attacking body, a vanilla body, so it's really great, right? It's like one of the best things you can play on your second turn. Like first turn you play Nami, second turn you play Zoro Juro. Hope you find Sanji and Pudding. But yeah, we literally only run 1 green Straw Hat Crew type character, so everything else in the deck is a target. And here is the start of the deck for EB02 Sanji and Pudding, 5 cost 7k power. On your turn, once per turn, when 2 or more of your don cards are returned to your don deck, you can ramp 1 active don. Then on play, if the number of don cards on your field is equal to or less than your opponent, you can draw a card. So yeah, this is another way to mitigate your leader ability, right? It returns 1 of it back and as active too. That means on the turn that you play Sanji and Pudding, if it's like your 5 Dawn turn, you'll return 2 Dawn, set 2 as active, and you'll ramp 1 active back, so you'll have 3 Dawn to use for the rest of the turn, and your leader's a 6k base. So yeah, having multiple of these out, like if you have 2 of these out, your leader ability is basically free. And then you get essentially 4 extra Dawn to use for the turn, right? The 2 that you return gets returned back as active from the Sanji and Pudding, and then you can untap 2 of your rested Dawn. So there's like a lot of hidden power in this kind of deck that your opponent has to like think about and account for, or maybe not even account for. It's so flexible in how you play out your turns that your opponent can't really predict what you're gonna do. And yeah, the on play, drawing a card is like icing on the cake, right? You don't even really need that, but the fact that you have that is really great. 2 OP05 Frenosuke, 5 cost, 4k power, 2k counter. He's just a tech option into Teach into the Blackbeard matchup because it's another rush body if you need it, emergency rush body, and it's a Straw Hat. So Dawn times 1, if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your field, this character gains rush. Pretty basic, but most of the time just a 2k counter. The other star of the deck, 3 EB02 Monkey D Luffy, 6 cost, 7k power. So if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on the field, this character gains rush. Then when attacking once per turn, if you return 2 of your active Dawn cards back to your Dawn deck, you can set this character as active, and then you have to take the top card of your life to your hand. So yeah, that's a lot of things there. So most of the time, when you're playing this guy out at 6, your opponent would most likely be at 5 or more Dawn, unless they're like a Reiju who likes the Dawn minus. So he'll always have rush. Just being a 6 cost 7k rush attacker in and of itself is great already. The fact that he can restand is what makes him so strong. He becomes like a really potent finisher, especially with all the like hidden Dawn that we have access to that your opponent may not have calculated for. Right? It synergizes with our leader ability in that the 2 active Dawn that we get from our leader ability can be used to pay for this Luffy's return cost to untap himself. Yeah, do note it is active Dawn. You cannot return rested Dawn for him. And yeah, the downside is you do have to take a life card. If you're at 0 life anyway, trying to go for like a race, it doesn't matter as much. That's when you want to use them for that. Right? And even sometimes just to kill a priority target, it's worth it to take a life to attack twice, to burn as much counter and potentially kill a key target your opponent has. But definitely the fact that he can attack twice is what makes him so strong, with rush too. But we do only run him as a 3 of, because when I used to run him as a 4 of, it felt a little too bricky because I don't want him all the time. I only want him like kind of near the end of the game. 4 OP07 Sanji, 6 cost, 6k power, 2k counter, and then if you have 2 or fewer Dawn cards than your opponent, he actually becomes a 3 cost in your hand, and he has blocker. So yeah, in this deck, you are pretty low on Dawn really often, so more often than not you are 2 or less Dawn than your opponent, so you can just play him out for 3 if you need like a 6k attacker or like a blocker, but at the end of the day, still a 2k counter that's searchable in their deck too. 3 starter deck 18 Luffy Taro, 7 cost 8k power. On play, if you Dawn -1, you can play up to 1 purple Straw Hat Crew type character with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. So in the very beginning of EB02, I was a hater of this card in this deck, but I've turned on it, right? I see the merit of it now. Because yeah, he can play out either the Zoro drill, as he always has in historically in purple Luffy decks, but Sanji and Pudding is actually a 5 cost Straw Hat, purple Straw Hat Crew type character too. So you can play Luffy Taro into Pudding. It's a pretty nasty combo. Right, so you have Taro into Pudding, and then you leader ability, and then you have 3 Dawn to work with for the rest of the turn. But yeah, if you prefer less Luffy Taro, you could just increase the count of the Rush Luffy, or vice versa, Lusa Visa. And then we're moving on to the events. We run quite a lot of events. It's a kind of a bricky deck, but 4, when you're at sea, you fight pirates. It's a 1 cost event searcher that looks at the top 3 for Straw Hat Crew, or Kid Pirates or Heart Pirates types. We can only use the Straw Hat Crew type part, but yeah. This is just a way to consistently find our Sanji and Puddings if we need it, or Monkey D Luffy's, the Rush Luffy if we need it. And actually even finds a Gungam Giant if we need it to find it, right, in an emergency situation. And then on trigger, it's a free search too, so it's no big deal at all. The fact that we get that 3 active Dawn after a Sanji and Pudding plus leader ability combo means that we always have like spare Dawn to use for these kind of search events. But most of the time you're using these early on to find that Sanji and Pudding in the first place. 4 OP09 Gungam Giant, of course no brainer, we're a purple Straw Hat Crew type leader, so we need this card. Counter, Dawn -2, you can trash 1 card from your hand. If your leader is a Straw Hat Crew type, give it to one of your leaders or characters plus 4k power for this turn, and then you draw 2 cards. So yeah, it cycles a card out of your hand. You potentially could draw 4k more counter on top of this already countering for 4k for 1 Dawn. I've probably repeated this many times in all the decks that I've run Gungam Giant in, so I don't know, if you're a new viewer, then just know that this is one of the best defensive purple event counters that people kind of want banned, right? This is probably next on the chopping block. 1 OP05 Gamma Knife, 2 cost event, Dawn -1 on main. Give it to one of your opponent's characters -5,000 power, and then on trigger, you can just ramp an active Dawn. So one of our weak matchups is into Red Green Smoker and Bonnie, so this just helps with getting rid of A-Cost Kid. It's searchable by the when you're at sea you fight pirates, but other than that you just kind of have to hope you draw it. I didn't want to run more than 1 because it can get kind of bricky, and it's only good in that green matchup. 1 OP08 Electrical Luna, 3 cost event. So on main, all your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 7 or less do not become active during your opponent's next refresh phase. Then on trigger, you can rest one of your opponent's characters. So this is just for the mirror, basically. Or even like the Purple Luffy matchup. Doflamingo isn't as much of a problem anymore. Like after the Jinbei ban, we don't really have to worry about him. But this used to be really good into him too. It just makes your opponent's entire board stay rested, right? If they have a Luffy on board or a pudding on board of their own in the mirror, you can just keep it rested. Helps you go for like another full volley of swings with your own board. Unless they have Electrical Luna 2 to counter you, but then yeah, it becomes kind of like a stalemate situation. But it's better to have it than not have it in case your opponent has it, you know? For EB02 Going Merry, 1 cost stage card. We run the stage card in the stack. So on play, if your leader has a Straw Hat Crew type, you can draw 1 card. It replaces itself for 1 Dawn. So in and of itself, no downside. And then activate main, you can rest the stage. If the number of Dawn cards on your field is less than or equal to the number of Dawn that your opponent has, you can give it to one of your Straw Hat Crew type characters plus 2 costs until the end of your opponent's next turn. So yeah, this is kind of like KO prevention. That's what it's used for, right? Sanjin Pudding is such a key card in our deck that like if we make it into a 7 cost, a lot of ways to remove it just get a lot harder, right? Your opponent can't just play like a Hina and a Brook to pop it. And black is like literally our weakness, so we kind of do need this for protection. Yeah, and the fact that it replaces itself when you play it, so there's really no like downside to having 4 copies. It essentially thins out your deck too, if you think about it that way. So you only have like your good cards left. For starting hands, you'll want the Nami to find Sanji and Pudding. You'll want Zorojuro to find Sanji and Pudding. You'll want, when you're at sea, you fight pirates to find Sanji and Pudding. And then you have extra Dawn in the early game. You just fit in a Going Merry to thin out your deck and also have it set up for a future turn where you don't have to spend a Dawn on it. And it also potentially could draw you into Sanji and Pudding. And then if you have Sanji and Pudding guaranteed, getting a Frankie would be nice too. Because yeah, on your 5 or 6 Dawn turn, when you Sanji Pudding and then leader ability, you could follow that up with a Frankie. And then that would ramp you 2 Dawn, 1 active, 1 rested. And then your leader ability is basically free at that point. For card options, you have the OP05 Zorojuro in case you want to run this instead of Frankie. He does give you active Dawn back, but you do have to take a life first to be at 3. And then if the Zorojuro dies before it gets back to your turn, then yeah, you don't do anything. At least the Frankie ramps on play. So I kind of like the Frankie more, but if you value the active Dawn better, Zorojuro is your pick there. You could also run the EB02 Zoro. So in the beginning of the meta, this was run a lot more because what he does is he's a 4 cost 5k, and then if your opponent has 2 or more characters on the board, this character can attack the turn that you play it, so it gets like pseudo rush, like the Dressrosa kind of rush. And then on play, if your leader has the Straw Hat Crew type, you can rest it to one of your opponent's 4 cost or less characters, so it gives you a target to attack into. So basically, he has rush that can attack into a character the turn that you play him on curve. But honestly, I prefer playing the Namis and the Zorojoros just to find Sanji and Pudding. Right, I never really value having the Zoro out early. He was great into Doflamingo early on, way back, but then Doflamingo has gotten quite the nerf. So personally, I don't like this guy anymore, but I still see some people run it, so it's not an invalid choice, right? It was a good choice in the deck before, it's just I don't think it fits anymore. And then there's OP02 Film Luffy. For the same reason we run Luffy Taro, this guy does the same thing, right? He's a blocker, and then 7 cost 7k power, and then you can play a Straw Hat Crew type character with a cost of 4 less from your hand. So this doesn't hit Sanji and Pudding, unfortunately, but it can hit the Zorojuro, it can hit the Frankie, and it can hit a Nami to search too. So if you value having like a blocker on top of that, this is your guy. But I personally prefer the Luffy Taro just because it can also include Sanji and Pudding. And then Gunkum Jet Gatling is not an unwarranted option either, because again, if you saw earlier, we ran like what, 20 something bricks. So Gunkum Jet Gatling can just turn any of those bricks into a 3k counter if you need it. And then on trigger, it ramps an active Dawn too. It was 28 bricks, that's a lot. And then we'll take a look at some matchups here. So this is OP11 matchups actually, because there's no like EB02 format on the rank sim that had like significant amount of data that I could pull from. So yeah, please excuse the blue purple Luffy here, just ignore them. Every other deck here doesn't get anything new from OP11 that makes it any different for this matchup, at least not that I can tell. And yeah, if I scroll to the left here, you can just ignore purple Katakuri and Nami here. So yeah, the reason why green purple Luffy is so great in the meta, why he's a top meta deck, is because he has a good matchup into Blackbeard, who is like the other top meta deck in EB02 in the East. Now things could change now that the ban list has given us a completely different meta than what the East had. But it shouldn't change too much, right? Purple Luffy and Shanks at the moment and Zoro are like the top 3 in the West in current OP10 format. So green purple Luffy having a good matchup into all 3 of those means that he's going to be somewhere in the top 5. Good into Enel too, but Enel is completely gone now. And yeah, the fact that he's good into Blackbeard's still not out of top meta contender either, right? He's still like a top 5 deck, but Green Purple Luffy being good into him too, it is really great. Weak against Red Green Smoker, as we mentioned earlier, and Marco and Bonnie and Lucci. So Lucci did get a nerf in that he lost access to Ice Age. Ice Age made it really easy for him to kill our Sanji and Pudding, so the fact that that's gone, I think this matchup isn't as one-sided anymore in the Lucci's favor, right? This is the entirety of the Eastern meta, so it was back when Ice Age wasn't banned too, included into it, so I would assume that these days it's not as disadvantageous anymore. But yeah, it seems he has a glaring weakness into 8-cost kid focus stacks, right? Bonnie and Smoker being the two premier ones. Bonnie just being able to lock out one extra attack on top of protecting the kid, and then Red Green Smoker just having extra Dawn to use to protect that 8-cost kid. So that's why we run the Gamma Knife. But then again, Red Green Smoker at the moment isn't even like a top 10 deck on the Western ladder, right? I think he has like a 40-something% win rate. I can check actually. So yeah, this is the current Western OP10 ranked ladder rankings right now. Red Green Smoker is 12th place with 46%, and Bonnie is 10th with 49%. So yeah, personally, since they're much lower on the rankings than the other leaders here, maybe you don't have to worry about it as much, so you don't have to tech so heavily into it. That's why I feel like one Gamma Knife is enough. But if Red Green Smoker and Bonnie do become a lot more popular in the Western EB02 format, more Gamma Knives is your answer there. And yeah, loses to Bello Betty and Green Yellow Law. I guess just too much aggro, right? They can hit 6k stat lines pretty easily, so I can see that. Right, so this is how you're going to want to play your curve. So let's say you're going first, 1 Dawn turn, perfect time to play Nami. Hopefully find Sanji and Pudding or whatever else you're missing. Your 3 Dawn turn. Here's where you can get flexible. Like if you have a Frankie in hand, it wouldn't hurt to play it. Right, you don't ramp yet, but then you'll have it ready for next turn to ramp with. Or if you don't want to do that, you want to save Frankie for the turn that you play Sanji and Pudding. You just attach 3 Dawn to the Nami you have on board. Then you have 5 here and then 5 from leader. Then passes to your 5 Dawn turn. So this is when you can play Sanji and Pudding. That's all 5 Dawn. Use your leader ability here. So you return 2 Dawn. Then you untap 2 Dawn. And then this Sanji and Pudding's effect will activate. Will ramp you 1 active Dawn. And then you have 3 Dawn to work with. Play that Frankie from before. And then at this point, you'll have less Dawn than your opponent. So you'll ramp 1 rested Dawn. And yeah, you're back at 5. You started at 5. Everything's good. And then your leader is a 6k base right now. Swing for 6k. And it stays on your opponent's turn 2. Giving you an extra 1k counter, essentially. Then it goes to your 7 Dawn turn. So here's where it gets flexible. You can do a lot of different things, right? If you had like a Luffy Taro and another Sanji and Pudding, if you high rolled your hand, you could do that, right? So Luffy Taro, 7 Dawn, then on play Dawn -1, play out the Sanji and Pudding, you return a Dawn. Then Sanji and Pudding out. Most likely you would match your opponent's Dawn at this point, right? If you're at 6, your opponent would have had their 6 Dawn turn. So you would draw with this. So you would draw a card with Sanji and Pudding, then you use your leader ability. So Dawn -2, on tap 2. This Pudding activates, ramps you another Dawn back. So you have 3 Dawn again. You could put like a Dawn onto the Frankie here. Swing, you ramp 1 active Dawn. Then your leaders is 7k. You could do like 7. And then 8 with the other Sanji and Pudding. And yeah, from that point on, you just do it what you got on board. Alright, since we have another Sanji and Pudding here, we actually gain another active Dawn when we Dawn -2 for leader ability. So we can actually do like 7-9. It's even better. So there's that curve. And then at any point when you're trying to finish, you just drop this bad boy out. And then if you have 2 Sanji and Puddings out, it's essentially 4 extra Dawn you can use for this guy. Let's take a look at the going second curve. So 2 Dawn turn. You could just play a Nami to find what you need yet again. And then if you have room, play Going Merry to just have it to protect your Sanji and Puddings on the future turn. It draws you a card too. Then your 4 Dawn turn, this is where you could play Zoro Juro. And then hopefully it'll find you what you need for the next turn. And then 6 Dawn turn. That's when you play Sanji and Pudding. And then you can use the Going Merry effect onto the Sanji and Pudding, give it +2 cost in case your opponent has a trigger that kills it. And then your leader ability here, Dawn -2, untap 2. Sanji and Pudding activates, ramps you an active Dawn, so you have 4 active. And your leader is a 6k. So yeah, you could do 6 with Zoro, 7 with leader, and then you could play a Frankie if you have it. This will ramp you 1 rested Dawn back. So yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And if you don't have Frankie, Chopper is an option too for 2 Dawn. It'll ramp you 1 rested Dawn back. But do take note that he's not a Straw Hat. I'm going to have to repeat that. So you want to use your leader ability before you play the Chopper out. And then when your opponent attacks, before it gets back to your next turn, if you want that 1k buff, block with this guy so that he dies. So you have only Straw Hat crew type characters on board. Alright, I think we went over everything, right? That was pretty comprehensive. So yeah, that's my Green Purple Luffy deck for EB02. I think this is like at least the generic bare bones package for it. I'm pretty sure as the Western EB02 meta develops without Ice Age and Jinbei and then Kingdom Come and Akos Kakamori, of course, More tech options are going to need to be made to whatever is popular in the Western meta, but yeah, this is a great starting off point at the very least. And yeah, once the set does release in the West for us, if you import it into my deck builder here, there's like a show prices button. It'll show all the prices of the cards. If you click the shopping cart link to buy these cards from here, it goes through my affiliate, so it'll help support me. So yeah, if you're going to buy these cards anyway to build out this deck and you wanted to support me in a passive way, this would be the ideal way to do it. So I would appreciate it if you did that. And then yeah, there's a mass entry button too. Once these EB02 cards are released, you can click the mass entry button. It'll copy the entire deck list and then you can add it to your cart on TCG Player and just buy the whole deck outright. Use your optimizer to find the cheapest version of each card too. This also goes through my affiliate link, so either way. And then if you guys want to copy this deck for yourselves, here's the QR code. I don't know if it shows through the video. This is like my first time trying to show it in the video like this, so if it does, that's great. If it doesn't work, I'll have to figure out a way to make it more clear, make it bigger. I don't know. You guys can help me test. You're my guinea pigs. Oh, I also have like the searcher percentages. That's a feature that I haven't shown off in the deck breakdown yet. There's a button here for that. Guess this is the premiere. Oh, I should move it. Yeah, I moved the quantities from down here to up here, but I forgot to move the searcher somewhere else. But yeah, that's the beauty of it. I coded this. I can just fix it at any time. And if you guys wanted to test this deck out before the card's released, there's like a print proxies button too, if you wanted to print this out and test it in paper. Okay, yeah, pretty sure that exhausts everything that I wanted to show off here. So yeah, I went the extra mile to build out a whole freaking deck builder with the game board and the searcher percentages and then ways to buy the cards on TCG Player. So I don't know, I hope you guys can see how much effort I'm putting into all of this, right? I made this for you guys. I just get kind of sad sometimes where like I see conversations of like the YouTubers who put the most effort into their content and I'm never mentioned, even though no one else is creating custom websites for their own videos, right? It's just me, right? That's from what I could see. And the matchup spreads too, the percentages, I'm not pulling these numbers out of my ass. These are like actual quantitative games, right? I scraped this data, I built out this dashboard, I did the analysis, I made everything pretty, I figured out the data. No one else is doing this, right? It from what I can tell, it's only me. But yeah, enough self-pity. Here's some gameplay. Sorry about that. We have Green Purple Luffy versus Shanks. Oh, two Sanji puddings. Don't mind if I do. And a Taro too. Don't mind if I do. And a Gamma Knife. Maybe that's good against them. Mind if I do. So Uta Searcher finds them at Divine Debarber. That's fine. We'll play Event Searcher. Let's take probably a second 2k. Yeah. Don't want to be too bricked. 3 bricked. 7 of us will take. We'll do stage. Nami. I guess it would be nice to have a Frankie for next turn, and then we'll just do 7 at lead. Okay, leader ability, and then a 2k. Yep, we'll pass. We could play Yasop. It plays another Uta. Okay, so 4 drop. Lucky Rude. Lucky Rude. Okay, 5 of us. Let's not take anymore. Let's counter 2. Okay, we're at 6. We could do what we want to do. Oh, 3 of them. 3 Sanji puddings. Okay. Happy birthday to me. We'll do just 1 for now. And get a bunch of Dom back. Then 6 at lead. Actually, I could have done 7 if I want to play Frankie, but maybe Zorodro is an option because he can attack for free. So we'll stage the Sanji Pudding, play Zorodro. This Luffy will be great at finishing him because he's still at 5 life. Let's see, 7 Dawn means Ben Beckman can kill our Sanji and Pudding. No, he can't. He kills a 6k, right? Sanji Pudding is a 7k. Can't touch me. Zorodro you can touch. But respectfully, please. Next turn I can Luffy Taro into Sanji and Pudding. Just flood D board against Shanks. Okay, Uta swings 6 at me. That's crazy. We'll just counter with the Frankie. That would take that. And then we get a when you're at Sea Search to find a Zorodro. Maybe I shouldn't have taken that. We're getting dangerously low. 7 with lead, we'll counter 2. Okay, so Lucky Ru can just kill Zoro. We'll just swing with them then. Right, it's original power, so they can't kill our Sanji and Pudding with the Lucky Ru or anything like that. He left the Dawn up. What is he scared of? Okay, counters 2. Sanji Pudding 7. He still hasn't used leader ability? Oh, he did on my leader. So yeah, that's a 3k, Divine Departure. Okay, we'll Taro into another Sanji Pudding. We'll return 2, get 2 back. Did I just return an active Dawn? I think I did. Oh, oops. We don't need it. Wait, why didn't my leader give me the plus 1k buff? Everyone's a Straw Hat, right? Is that a bug? Huh? Okay, whatever. 5 at lead. I should be a 6k, right? That's crazy. Okay, they block with Lucky Roo. Pop my Zoroju. I'll play another one. Let's take a 2k. Oh, right. Leader ability. He leader ability'd me. That's why I didn't show up. Thought I was going crazy, right? Because when I attacked with the Zorojo, the very first attack, he leader ability'd me with his leader ability to give me minus 1k with his leader ability. And I just forgot he uses leader ability on me. So he plays Otama to minus 2 my Sanji Pudding and then kills out the Benbackman. 6 at my face will counter 1. He's still at 5 life though. Is that what you want to be at? You don't want to take any life at all? And I just swing 6 at your face? He take, okay, he bleeds. How about another 6? Counter 2, okay. No more bleeding. Second Sanji Pudding and draw into a third one. We can play it, actually. It would be funny. I want to be funny. So 7 at lead. He already has used leader ability, so this is 2 cards to defend. It might be a take, yep. Do 8 at lead, and then we'll play a third Sanji and Pudding out. We'll protect that one, and then this one can die. But Shanks can't interact via cost anyway. Okay. Next turn, when we play the Luffy out and leader ability, we'll get like 3 Dawn back. He could play the 10 cost Shanks now. That would debuff my entire board. We'll play the other 10 cost Shanks that just pops the Sanji and Pudding. Still a free leader ability. Okay, so I'm a 6k base. He can't hit me except with the Benbackman into Sanji and Pudding. Okay, we'll counter 1. Am I at 10 Dawn next turn? Wow, it's like I lost nothing at all. 6 at lead. Maybe we have game from here. Shanks does run a lot of bricks. 2 1ks. Okay, that seems kind of bricky material right there. So we'll Dawn minus 2, gain 2 back, gain another 2 back. Use 2 1k, so I think a 6 will go through. Hey, you just concedes. Bye. Okay, we have green purple Luffy versus purple Luffy. So yeah, we keep this hand because Sanji and Pudding is in it. 2 choppers. I mean, the fact that he ramps pretty naturally means that our choppers can get a lot of value actually. It does jump to 4, so you could play like a Zorojoro here or Mr. 2 or just swing at us for 9. I think I would like the swing at us for 9 option the most. Oh, that's what's happening. Yeah, because I was probably going to take a 5 anyway, but this way I don't have to deal with like a 4 drop on board. So we swing 5 and then Zorojoro? Or actually, yeah, now that we mention it, the chopper can ramp for us because he did ramp to 4. So we could do like Going Merry and then chopper, but then I already attacked for 5. I could have attacked for 6. Whoops. It's okay. Giving ourselves a handicap here. We just decided on the fly to change course. Yeah, that should have been a 6 out leader, at least burn a 2k. It's okay, it's okay. So they ramp to 7. Taro out. Juro out. Yeah, the thing with the Going Merry out, with our Sanji and Puddings later, they can't tap it with their Sanji. Oh, yes, they can. They can tap up to a 7 cost, right? I forgot the cost for Sanji, but attack us for 6. We'll just take that one. Because I want to save all the counters to protect my Sanji and Pudding. That's the only way I can protect my characters, is with counter. And that's the only way that Purple Luffy can deal with my characters, is by attacking into it, so I don't mind that I'm at 2 life here. And since he put down on leader, that makes me think that it's not like a Sanji or Luffy Taro turn, so it's like a lot of pressure relieved from me. So just a kid. And then a Law Searcher. Yeah, he has a pretty unfavorable hand, but does find Luffy Taro for next turn, just 1 turn late. So we'll also Luffy Taro here. Do 5 at lead, you just block for free. If he counters, it's even better. And yeah, I forgot to block with my chopper last turn, so I can't get the plus 1k buff, so I just attack first. So Luffy Taro into Pudding. That's thanks to our chopper too, repping us to 5 last turn. But yeah, I just completely forgot to block with them. But we did end up getting 1k counter. I don't know. I think he should have just blocked for free. There's nothing I could have done to him. He does ramp again to 9 to play a Linlin maybe. So yeah, Linlin I'm protected by. Sanji and Pudding's a 7 cost right now. They could only hit our chopper, really. Plays a Luffy Taro. Into Sangoro. Standard. Gets a Don back from the kid. Was that worth going to 2 life? What is he going to do with the rest of his Don? It's a Don leader. We'll finally block. If he swings 7 with the kid, that might be bad for us. But we have a lot of counter. It's 5 with the law. That's what he used the Don for. We'll counter 1. Okay, we get a second Sanji and Pudding. I think he can't deal with that. So here's our free leader ability. Return 2. Untap 2, get 2 back. What else can we do with practically an entire turns with the Don left still? We'll play Nami. We can get a Luffy Taro here. Then we got 7. We'll just do a bear 7, see what happens. Yeah, the thing is, we're not out of the woods just yet. Because they have quite a scary board. They counter 3. We are at only 2 life. We do 7 leader. Just throw 6 for now. See what he does. Right, since he countered 3k, I'm kind of sussing that he doesn't have much left. He does have another 2k though. So we'll play a Zoro out. Let's take a Gum Gum Giant, and then I think we only need one of them, so we'll just do 9 with the Luffy Taro. Or let's just keep them both up, just to be safe. I think he'll take this one. I think he wants to keep the kid, yep. Then we'll pass. I don't think we need 2 Gum Gum Giants, but just in case, you know. I forgot to Going Merry. Hits us with the blocker law, making us discard 2 cards. Luckily, I did not lose either Gum Gum Giant, but I did lose a 2k in the process. This is a spicy tech into the mirror and into Green Purple Luffy. Both these decks get pretty big hand size, susceptible to Pudding. Then with the remaining Don, plays a Sanji that can rest. Yeah, in this case, Going Merry would have helped me. Let me double check. Yeah, Sanji rests a 6 cost, so it can keep my Sanji and Pudding safe, but he rested my Zorojuro. Let's see what he do with his swing. So 7 first, 7 at 6. We have a 2k for that. Yeah, we do run so many bricks in our deck that we could just like end up dying randomly. That's why I kind of left 2 Don open, just in case. We counter 2 from the Sangoro that drew him a card. We have bricks in hands right now, so we're going to have to fix that. Let's Gum Gum Giant away at the stage. We get 2k counter at least. He could have attacked with the kid, but I think he needs it to live. So now we just try to go for game here. 7. We might have it, and if we don't, I think we have enough Gum Gum Giants to survive another turn. Okay, so they countered 3. We'll do another 7. He still does have 2 blockers out. If he can counter this from hand, that might be bad for me. I can't go for game. Does block, that's a good sign. So another 7 if you couldn't stop that for 7. Take it, block, okay. We'll do a 9 from leader, or from Luffy Taro. That's not me, I'm me. And then we can return 2 Don and just get it back active with the Sanji and Puddings, even though we don't have anything to untap. And then we'll do a final 14k, 3 cards in hand, that should be game. Got it. And then here's a mirror for you. So yeah, let's mulligan for Sanji and Pudding. We get it. Even a Nami to find something else like a Frankie. Nope. Take a second Sanji and Pudding. If we can get 2 out, it'd be hard for him to deal with. Unless he gets 2 out too, and then I don't know. We're just swinging 7Ks at each other until something happens. Just play a Nami of their own. Finds a Sanji and Pudding. Okay, so we know both of us have it. So we just do 5-5 here. We have nothing else to play for 3. They take 1 5. How about another 5? Took both 5s. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. But yeah, same with the Purple Luffy matchup. Like, the only way we can deal with each other's characters is to attack into it. So just have more counter to protect your Sanji and Puddings. Makes some sense. Going Merry. But yeah, you're just susceptible to the 6 cost Rush Luffy going for game. He does play Zorojuro. I don't play that guy. So we'll take a card too, just so that we have resources to compete with him. Sanji Pudding, ability, and then we could just do a chopper here. Ramp 1 rested Dawn, and then we can throw 7 at leader. I think Nami I don't have to worry about. Takes it going to 1. Very, very risky guy. Plays their Sanji and Pudding. Okay, it begins. He could play a Zorodro with the remaining 4, or if he puts Dawn on Zorodro that he has on board, he can ramp 1 active Dawn and play the 4-drop one. Yeah, there's 2 Zorodros, huh? 3 and 4. So I have to make the distinction. Ramp Juro and search Juro. But yeah, let's remember to block with the chopper. 6k. He still has a leader hit, so we'll just counter this one. Oh, we'll take it. Right, if they're taking 2 life to protect their Sanji and Pudding, I might as well try to keep up. Now, has he got a 3-drop or is he going to attack me for 9? He got his own chopper. But it didn't ramp for him because he has a bunch of Dawn out too. I think we equaled. No, I had less Dawn in him last turn. So we'll play second Sanji Pud. And then we'll return 2, gain 2 back. So we got 4 Dawn here. So we'll do 8 at the leader, get him to burn his Gum Gum Giant if he has it. I don't know if I should deal with the Zoro or not. But yeah. Since he didn't attack with his leader, I couldn't use my chopper. I should have just blocked the Zorodro maybe. We'll do another 7 at lead here. He blocks that. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should just block the first chance I get with the chopper in case he does try to deny me of being a 6k base. So Taro into Zorodro. Picks up a 2k. So he attacks 5 again with the Zoro. We'll just counter 1. Pretty sure he attacks with the Sanji and Pudding, so I guess I'll use it for that block. But yeah, if he doesn't play like a blocker or leave any Dawn up, I could try to go for the 6 cost Luffy. That is a valid option. We'll just see what he does. Because against this board, since he Luffy Taroed, I probably can't outlive another turn. I might have to try to go for game regardless. Okay, 7 at 7. That's great. I think he should have gone for my face instead, because it's really easy to defend. 7 into 7. And then 7 into 7, we'll just block that one so that we get access to our leader abilities plus 1k. Does play a chopper, so maybe I can't go for game. What to do then? And I didn't end up Gum Gum Gianting. He has Dawn up for Gum Gum Giant. I guess we'll just try to suss it out. 7, he does have less cards than I do, at the very least. There's a 2k. How about another 7? Still got 2ks. I mean, we might as well Luffy, right? Luffy out. We'll get 4 Dawn back. Thank you very much. Still got a lot of Dawn to work with. 6 here. 7 here. Let's just try to burn the Gum Gum Giant. He can't have another 2k, can he? He took it. Okay, maybe I try to go for game? It's risky if it doesn't pan out. If he can counter one of these hits, it doesn't work out. So we can play Zorodro and try to be safe. Should we be safe? Or should I go, what is it, 11-11? Let's be safe. So we'll get a 2k with the Zorodro. Then we could swing 7 with it in case we get another Gum Gum Giant from our life. But let's just go 8. This is setting up a little risky, but setting us up better for next turn. He does block with the chopper. So you could either be bluffing about the Gum Gum Giant or you just couldn't find the right time to use it. So 6 at us, we'll just counter 2. Yeah, having a 2 life buffer, I feel pretty safe here, and he has none. So if our Luffy lives, the 6 cost secret Luffy, I think we should have game. 8 at our face, we could Gum Gum Giant this. We get 3k more counter. This is like the best possible scenario for us. Plays his own Rush Luffy. Okay. He can do like 9k twice. No, he can get more Dawn than that. He can do a lot. So I had to stop every attack except for his. Okay, Sanji and Pud. 8 at me will counter 3. Oh no, are we gonna die here? So, would you put 2 Dawn on Zoro? That would burn a 2k from my hand. Then leader burns 2k. Okay, leader first. Counter 2. So he needs a Zorodro to land a hit. That's at least a 2 Dawn commitment. If I can counter that, he cannot win. And I can counter 2. So yeah, I have 2 life. He cannot finish me. He could go for board though. Kill 2 things and then maybe play like a blocker and have Gungam Giant Dawn up. Yeah, even though he has 0 life, he's not out of it, right? He can still turtle up pretty well. And then I'm the one who's gonna die. So 7 at my Luffy, I cannot stop. Oh, he didn't untap? Eh? He has Dawn for it. Oh, Electrical Luna. And then he needs Dawn up for a Gungam Giant. Okay, makes sense. Does he have 2? 6 at lead. See, try to get him to burn 1, maybe? Hope he doesn't have 1k counter. Okay, he did have the Gungam Giant. That's perfect. Got a little lucky there with that gamble, and then we'll just play Chopper and then get 2 Dawn back? No, it's better to just stack, right? Right, because, wait. If I play Chopper, that's 2 Dawn, I return it, I get 2 back. I don't get the 1k buff from my leader, but I get the 2 Dawn that I already had anyway. So yeah, I'll just do 14. So Gungam Giant, and then he needs like literally every card in his hand to be a 2k to survive this. There's 1. Hey, okay, that was it. Whew! Scary mirror.
Card D Kaizoku.